Hey there, it's Mark Yegi. Welcome back to the channel. And a lot of people ask me because they know that I'm a big investor in Tesla. What's going on with Elon? Is he spreading himself too thin, or will Elon Musk retire this year? And that's a big question. It's a question that kind of scares me, actually. I don't really know if he is the retiring type, and I'm going to lay out the plan for you in the next couple of minutes here about will Elon Musk retire in 2024. And so let's first start out by just giving the guy a personality, right? He's quite a personality. He's a little bit introverted, but he's an introverted extrovert. It's very interesting. Brilliant guy, and probably one of the most brilliant inventors and world changers of our time. And he's a very proud individual. He's very proud of what he's doing. He's proud and quite humble in a lot of ways about helping the planet. And so his goal is to help the planet, and that's why he founded Tesla. He didn't really found it, but he bought Tesla early on, and he's been a proponent of Tesla. And you can't argue with the results. It is the number one selling car in the world, the Model Y, and he's got fairly low debt. I mean, not even enough debt to move the needle, under 5%. And so he's a proud guy. And he's a guy that has seen a vision about electric cars and how they're going to help the world in his way. And he's executed on that vision. You can't argue with that. People told him there's no way that electric cars are going to take over. GM had already tried it. 100 years ago, we'd already tried it. And everybody said there's no way you can do it. And he's actually proven that he can do it. And now we have all kinds of competitors from China, and the big other makers are getting involved in EVs. But the problem is that they're getting involved in EVs a little bit too late. So it takes a long time. Look how long it took for Elon to scale to be the number one car maker in the world, like 10, 12 years. And now, everybody else has to play catch up, and they're all making other cars that are going to be declining in popularity, I believe, because the superiority of electric vehicles is amazing. I've driven in a Tesla. It goes so fast. It's so nice inside. And yes, other cars are nice too, and they can go fast as well. But you don't have to go get oil changes, and you don't have radiators blowing up, and you don't have all these different components that, there's thousands of components in a internal combustion engine vehicle, and there's not those types of equivalent components in electric vehicles. There are lots of components. Don't get me wrong. It's just they're not components with fluids that wear out. They're electric motors, which are very reliable. And these batteries are proven to be very, very long lasting. The e-cars is the first thing. Electric vehicles is really the first thing that Elon is proud of. And he's built something with Tesla. And I think something going on in Tesla is going to keep him there for a long time. And I'll expound a little bit, because I think this was the first step. Getting this electric vehicle platform built was the first step. The next step is crazy. It's this full self-driving thing. And if you've ever been in a car where you can push the button and it stays within the lanes, I find that amazing. I had a car that, could stay in the lanes. It was like a Ford Fusion or something, and it had all that stuff. And it did a good job of kind of pivoting back and forth in the lane. And then every once in a while it would start to veer. This car has cameras, and it's taking in billions and billions of bits of data from the billions and billions of miles traveled from all their cars that have all these cameras on them and all this input. And it's starting to act like human. This artificial intelligence is becoming human when it comes to driving. It feels like a human's driving your car. And what's going to happen is we're so close to it being 100% autonomous, where you never have to touch the wheel, you never have to touch the pedal. It takes you where you're going on the best route, and it avoids pedestrians and bicyclists and travel and potholes and all those other things without you having to touch the wheel. And we don't even realize how amazing that is. But if you think about 100 years ago, if you got in an elevator in the Empire State Building, for example, there was a guy in there that said, okay, I'll take you up to the 40th floor. There was an elevator person running that elevator. Well, today we don't have those people. We don't even think about that anymore, because the person running the elevator, the driver of the elevator, was eliminated. I think the same thing is going to happen in cars. And we're not far away from it now. And I know sometimes Elon puts out these prognostications, and they don't come true right away. And we're impatient, but they do eventually come true, right? It came true with the electric vehicle. It's now come true with rockets that go up and they land on their own drone pod by themselves, and they can be reused hundreds of times. That's stuff that nobody ever thought about 10 years ago. Elon was thinking about it 10 years ago, and he made it happen. So when you get this full self-driving capability, now you move to the next iteration, which is robotaxi. You know how cool it is when you go on your phone and you say, I want to get an Uber and I want to, have it come pick me up and they're going to take me somewhere. That was revolutionary 10 years ago, right? Now it's common. You know what else is going to be revolutionary? Now it's going to be robo taxis, where you do the same thing as you would with Uber, but the car shows up, picks you up, takes you where you want to go, and there's no driver. Think about the labor that is going to eliminate in the car, that right now you have to pay a driver for. Now that's going to make travel for us a lot cheaper, more efficient. And it's going to allow you to take your Tesla vehicle and turn it into a profit center. So while you're not using your vehicle, because we don't use our vehicle probably 95% of the time, something like that, it just sits there. Well, this is going to allow your vehicle to become like an Airbnb for cars, right? You say, oh, my vehicle is going to be available while I'm at the office from 9 to 5. Your car is going to be out there driving people around, making you money. You're going to split it with Tesla, but you're going to make some money on this full self-driving because it's just going to be driving you around if you want it. The next thing is the next step. It's called Optimus. It's his robotics initiative. If you haven't heard about this robotics initiative, it's amazing, right? These robots are humanoid robots. Right now, he's got 3 of them in the factory putting things together and doing things in a human fashion. But you and I are going to be able to buy a robot in 10 years or less than 10 years, probably like 3 or 4 years, for maybe $20,000. Now, they're going to start out a little bit higher until they get mass produced. But you're going to buy a robot, and that robot's going to cook your meals, going to do your laundry, mow your yard, do all kinds of things that you can do because it's going to learn from you. It's going to learn programming from the way you do things. And it's an amazing thing. And we don't see the potential of that. But imagine you having your own robot to do a lot of those chores, cleaning the house, doing laundry, doing chores, doing the yard, all those things that today you have to do and you have to schedule time for. If you've got the money, you're going to be able to do your robot, have a robot do it. Okay. We talked about rockets. Now, Elon Musk has a separate company called SpaceX, and SpaceX puts up rockets. They put 6,000 of these satellites in orbit for Starlink, which is his internet service. 6,000. Like, think about the space shuttle 25, 30 years ago when it was still flying. It would go up like once a year, and it would take a satellite up or two and, come back down, and that was a cool thing. I mean, this guy's putting up 6,000 satellites in one profitable company. The company is going up in value by the billions every time they raise money. And so he had to figure out a way to make money. So he created a rocket company to put these satellites up, but that satellite is now blanketing the earth with internet. I went on a cruise recently and I used his Starlink, and it was amazing. It was fast, way better than anything they had before. And so that is an amazing discovery and development in itself. But ultimately, that profitable rocket company is going to allow him to continue to develop to his ultimate dream, and that's establishing a colony on Mars. I know we think it's crazy. I still think it's crazy. But you know what? I thought having the number one selling vehicle being an electric vehicle made by Tesla 10 years ago was crazy, and it's not so crazy anymore, is it? So that's the ultimate vision, and he's making that happen step by step, and we don't even know. We're going about our lives daily, and we don't really see what he's done. And then finally, he's a proponent of free speech, whether you like it or not. He has made a platform less oppressive, and if you use Twitter, which is now called X, at all, you see that it's better. It's not perfect. It's got its issues, but it's way better than it used to be. As far as censorship, there was official censorship from the government. There was official misinformation censorship, and now things you can get on there and you can say pretty much anything that you want, which has its pluses and its minuses. But I'd rather not have censorship, especially if it's censorship on things that you believe in or things that have happened to you, which occurred with me. I'd rather have that censorship not be a part and have err on the side of more freedom of speech. So that's what X is doing now. It's allowing more freedom of speech. But forget about the freedom of speech. What he's doing is he's going to his ultimate dream of creating an all-in-one kind of platform. It's already hosting videos. It's got messaging in it. Pretty soon, you can already do payments in it, but on a limited basis. He's already got approval for most of the states now to be able to transfer payments back and forth, kind of like PayPal. Remember, he's one of the founders of PayPal. And so this is going to become kind of an all-in-one platform like they have in China. This WeChat thing that they have in China is a very similar platform that I think he's going after. And I think he's going to achieve it because it's got a lot of scale. We go to X more than any other source for news. We don't go to CNN, we don't go to MSNBC, we go to X. The numbers are there. So is Elon Musk going to retire in 2024? Well, it scares the heck out of me that he might sell Tesla or he might retire from Tesla. But because of all those things I outlined, I don't think he's going to. I think he has too much of a vision. He's too proud a guy. He wants to change the world too much. And I think he stays there as long as he possibly can until he achieves most, if not all, of those dreams. So that's my belief. If you have some beliefs about it, tell me what you think in the comments. I don't have all the answers. I'd love to know what you think. By the way, if you like what I'm doing here, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll get all kinds of stuff about what we're doing. By the way, I have, just to go a little bit aside from what we do on this video, I have this little training coming up. It's a 4-week training starting on July 17th, and it's called Trade Like a Pro Accelerator. We take my Trade Like a Pro breakout trading system and we add on the weekly workshops, which happen Wednesday nights starting July 17th for a couple hours a night on 4 nights during July. And we go really deep into chart reading, into fundamental analysis, technical analysis, how to find the right stock, how to know that you can pyramid into a stock and be safe with it, how to know when to pull that money off the table, all those kinds of things that you need to know to become a really great, powerful, superior trader. If you're interested in checking that out, I'm going to put a link below. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for joining.